So question number 2, I'm getting better at starting a dialogue between my inner family members, and I'm even learning how to inner parent. The problem starts when I get triggered. I hear you. Suddenly my body seems to take over and I'm not in control of my inner family anymore. What anchor can I use in these moments to help me realign my inner family? So this is a great question, and one that most people struggle with, because we get a sense of our inner family, we learn how to do some inner parenting, and it's all going really well until something happens and it's not going well anymore. And so with these kinds of situations, the anchor that I've actually noticed that's been the most beneficial, especially in the beginning journeys of doing anchoring, with inner parenting in these kinds of situations, is to just remove yourself from that situation. So just excuse yourself, just say, hey, I need to go to the toilet, or, just take a moment to just say, okay, I need to step back from this situation right now, because how it is right now, I am being triggered. So I need to get rid of whatever this triggering is, or at least understand what it is, where it's coming from. And most of the time they're coming from our inner children. And then get those inner children in check. So just make sure that they're okay, that you offer them the comfort and support that they need in that moment, not to show up and try to like sort out the outer world experience for you. And once you feel like your inner children are soothed, and that you're feeling a sense of, oh, I can deal with this now, only then go back and deal with the issue. So don't try to deal with issues, in particular grown-up issues like relationships, finances, work, those kinds of things. Don't try to sort those things out when you're triggered, because you're only going to add into the negative momentum that experience has already created. Okay, so it's very likely that whenever you get triggered, that you have a history of getting triggered around something similar. So, for example, for me, if I'm getting out of the door and somebody says to me, oh, can you have a look at this? Can you have a look at that? In the past, I would have just looked at it and been late. Whereas now it's like, no, if there are people in the vicinity of where I'm leaving, and I'm, leaving at 1/2 whatever, I'm going to say to them about 10 past or whatever, hey, I'll be gone at 1/2. If you need anything done between now and then, now is the time. And then what happens is people have an opportunity to come and do those things. So I'm kind of like stopping myself from getting triggered for being late because somebody didn't come back to me or didn't ask me what they needed to ask me before I had to leave. So situations that are recurring, that you can recognize like that are recurring for you, then make some arrangements around that. So if you're anticipating that, you're going to get triggered around something. So let's just say that you have to go to like a family gathering, and there's that one person that's going to trigger you. Then come up with some strategies beforehand, that how you can, not engage with that person in a way that's going to be triggering. So it might be not talking about the things that are going to trigger if you say don't agree politically, or whatever, or you can say, hey, oh, I'll be right back, and then just kind of move away from the situation, or oh, I need to go to the loo. So come up with some ways of knowing that you will be able to get out of the situations that are going to be triggering ahead of time. So that's one way of kind of preempting this issue. But of course, you can't always do that. So when you do get triggered, just learn to excuse yourself. So use the anchor of excusing yourself from that situation. Then get in touch with your inner children, ask them how they're feeling, ask them what they need right now, try and give it to them. And then only once you've calmed down, only once the inner children are feeling soothed, should you go back and deal with the issue in hand. Okay, so I hope that helps. There are other anchors that you can create, but the main thing first is to create space between the trigger and before you react to it. That's the first step in my mind. Okay, great question.